All right, welcome everyone to our quick short webinar on cybersecurity awareness training. Today, cybersecurity is no longer just an IT issue, it is a business critical priority. Every single one of us plays a role in protecting our organizations from cyber threats. The unfortunate truth is that cybercriminals often target employees because they are seen as the easiest way to gain access to company data. But with the right training and the right knowledge, employees can transform from the weakest link into the strongest line of defense. So, today we're going to cover several key topics: the most common cyber threats targeting employees, how employees can shift from being the weakest link to the first line of defense, the importance of cybersecurity awareness training, the real business benefits of cybersecurity awareness training, what should be included in an effective program, how to create a strong, sustainable cybersecurity training initiative. And by the end of the session, you will have a better understanding of how cyber criminals operate, what they look for, and most importantly, how to protect yourself and the company from falling victim to their tactics. So let's dive in. The cybersecurity landscape is constantly evolving, with attackers becoming more sophisticated and threats becoming harder to detect. Even more so with ChatGPT and AI. Companies across all industries are experiencing an increase in cyber attacks from phishing scams to ransomware infections, making cybersecurity awareness a necessity. Here are a few key statistics that highlight the urgency of the problem. Over 90% of cyber attacks start with a phishing email. Attackers exploit human psychology to gain access to company systems. Ransomware attacks have increased by over 150% in the past year alone. Cyber criminals are now targeting businesses of all sizes, not just large enterprises. Insider threats are responsible for 30% of security breaches. These can be intentional or accidental, but they are equally dangerous. An example, a global shipping company suffered a ransomware attack that shut down operations for several days, causing millions of dollars in losses. The root cause? An employee unknowingly clicked on a malicious email attachment. As cyber threats continue to evolve, staying informed, staying proactive is the best defense. This is why cybersecurity awareness training is more critical than ever. Now, let's discuss the common cyber threats that are targeting your team. Cyber threats are evolving at an alarming rate. Every day, attackers refine their methods, making their tactics more deceptive and harder to detect. So, let's discuss the most common cyber threats that employees face daily. Malware. This is a broad category of malicious software that can affect computers, steal data, and cause disruption. A common way malware spreads is through fake software downloads or email attachments. For example, a hospital recently suffered a malware attack when an employee unknowingly downloaded what appeared to be an important vendor update. Instead, the malware encrypted patient records, and a demand for ransom shortly followed. Ransomware. This is a type of malware locks access to critical files and demands payment in exchange for their release. Cyber criminals often target small, medium-sized businesses because they assume the organizations lack strong cybersecurity defenses. The Colonial Pipeline attack in 2021 showed how devastating these ransomware attacks can be, shutting down fuel distribution and causing widespread panic. Also, now with ransomware, they will steal your data first. So they'll exfiltrate the data out of your company. And then if you don't pay the ransom, they will release your confidential information. Uh, Phishing. This remains one of the most effective methods of attack. Cyber criminals send emails pretending to be someone that the recipient trusts, a manager, a vendor, or even the internal IT department. These emails often include urgent messages like your account has been compromised or click here to update your credentials. The goal is to steal sensitive information, such as login credentials or financial details. And finally, social engineering. Instead of using software vulnerabilities, attackers manipulate human psychology to gain access. This could be as simple as a phone call from someone pretending to be from IT, asking for your password. One well known example is the Twitter attack of 2020, where hackers used social engineering tactics to trick employees into resetting high profile accounts. Now, understanding these threats is the first step in defending against them. Now, you've probably heard that employees are the weakest link in cybersecurity, but that doesn't have to be the case. With proper training and awareness, employees can become the first line of defense against cyber threats. Consider this: an employee who clicks on a phishing email can cost the company thousands, if not millions of dollars in damages, but an employee who recognizes and reports that phishing email prevents the attack from ever happening in the first place. So here's what every employee needs to focus on: threat recognition. Pay attention to red flags like unexpected emails, urgent requests, and grammatical errors. Prompt reporting. If something seems suspicious, report it immediately. The sooner IT is aware of a threat, the faster they can respond. Policy adherence. Follow security policies and best practices, whether it's using a password manager or securing company devices. Advocacy. Speak up. If you see an employee about to fall for a scam, warn them. Cybersecurity is a team effort. One great example of how employees can stop a threat from happening is a manufacturing company last year. An employee received an email that looked like it was from the CEO asking for a wire transfer. Instead of complying, they followed protocol and contacted the finance team, who confirmed it was a phishing attempt. That one cautious action saved the company over $200,000. Now, the best way to turn your employees into cybersecurity assets is through awareness training. This training does two important things: it empowers your employees. Instead of feeling uncertain or overwhelmed, employees gain the confidence to recognize and respond to threats. It also promotes vigilance. Cybersecurity becomes second nature, just like locking the doors at night or fastening your seatbelt. Training should be engaging and relevant. A combination of interactive simulations, phishing tests, and real world case studies is the best way to reinforce good security habits. We don't want to just check a compliance box. We want to instill a lasting security mindset. Now, cybersecurity awareness training isn't just about preventing attacks, it has real business benefits. To start, it reduces risk of breaches. So a trained workforce significantly reduces the risk of a successful attack. Enhance compliance. Many industries require cybersecurity training for regulatory compliance. Improved reputation. Customers and partners trust organizations that take cybersecurity seriously. Better incident response. Employees know what to do in the event of an attack, reducing panic and confusion. Cost savings. Avoid the financial and reputational cost of a data breach. An example of the impact of awareness training is a company that implemented phishing simulations and before training started. 40% of employees were clicking on phishing emails. After a few months of training, that number dropped below 5%, drastically reducing the risk to the organization. So, to be truly effective, cybersecurity awareness training should cover a broad range of topics. Some of the most critical areas include understanding the threat landscape. Employees need to be aware of the different types of attacks and methods and their consequences. Physical security, locking computers when stepping away, securing USB devices, and being aware of things like shoulder surfing. Remote security. With remote work on the rise, employees must use secure connections, VPNs, and multi factor authentication. Email security. Recognizing those phishing emails, suspicious links, and attachments. Password security. The importance of strong passwords and then using a password manager instead of reusing the same credentials over and over again. Compliance requirements. uh, Understanding how cybersecurity ties into regulatory requirements like CMMC or HIPAA or PCI. And then you want to add real world examples and simulations. That'll make training more engaging and impactful. So, how do we create an effective training program? An effective cybersecurity training program requires a well structured approach. Here are the key components. First, we want to gain executive support. Leadership buy in ensures the program is prioritized and also properly funded. Define risk based objectives. Identify the most critical threats to the organization and then tailor training accordingly. Engage your employees effectively. Use interactive and engaging methods to maintain interest and ensure knowledge retention. Use multiple formats. Combine videos, workshops, quizzes, and hand on simulations to reinforce learning. Use phishing simulations. Regularly test employees by running controlled phishing attempts to measure their awareness. And then update training regularly. Cyber threats are constantly evolving, and so should your training program. Regularly update to keep employees informed and prepared. So, as we wrap up, let's remember one key takeaway: cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. Attackers don't just target IT or executives, they target every employee, hoping for a moment of carelessness. But with the right training and awareness and action, we can prevent cyber incidents before they happen. So, your next steps: stay alert and apply what you've learned here today. Report any suspicious activity immediately to your IT department or your manager. Share cybersecurity best practices with colleagues and friends. And then at Right Hand Technology Group, we specialize in helping businesses like yours build strong security postures. If you're ready to take the next step in improving your cybersecurity posture, then let's connect.